Hey guys, Matty B here. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to Pretending to be Normal. So a series of videos I'm going to be doing here on YouTube all about autism. If you've watched my introductory video on the channel, you'll know that I have autism. I was diagnosed when I was 6 years old. In all the videos I'm going to be doing, I'm going to touch on the different symptoms and all the ways that autism affects people who have the condition. And you'll notice in all the videos I'm going to be using the pronoun we a lot because I want to make this personal, relatable, and come from a point of view of someone who has the condition rather than appearing really professional and like someone who's like a specialist who's talking about it from a clinical standpoint. Quick disclaimer, which I'm going to put at the start of all my videos in this series. If anything that I'm referring to in these videos resonates with you, and when I go through all the symptoms, if you think, yeah, that sounds like me, please speak to your doctor or a specialist and get a official diagnosis. So if we start with a introduction to autism and what it is. This is a neurological condition which affects the way we communicate and the way we interact with the world. It can be diagnosed at any age. I know there's a lot of adults now who are being diagnosed with the condition, but it's classified as a developmental condition because the symptoms tend to start appearing in the first 2 years of your life. To give the condition its full title, Autistic Spectrum Disorder. So as the name suggests there, it's a full spectrum from say 1 up to 10, and it presents differently in everyone who's got the condition. So you could have someone like me who's nearer to the 1 on the spectrum, really high functioning, and unless I told you that I had autism, you probably wouldn't know, and you'd probably think that I was more neurotypical. And then the other end of the spectrum, closer to a 10, people who may not be able to talk properly, can't say any words, and maybe can't even walk, have to go in a wheelchair. Probably the symptoms most associated with autism and the most talked about is everything to do with the social side of life, and more these symptoms especially are being showcased and educated and dramatised on TV shows like The Good Doctor, starring Freddie Highmore as a young doctor, junior doctor, coming through the ranks with autism. So this will showcase the main symptoms like avoiding eye contact, struggling to maintain eye contact for a long period of time, not knowing how to start or finish conversations, not sure how to do the small talk and the pleasantries, not knowing about having differences in your tone of voice as you're talking to signify different messages that you're trying to convey. So we'll stick to the same tone of voice a lot of the time.
Is his body temperature dropping?
No, his core body temperature is stable at 98.5. He rarely has cold feet. I got him socks.
And also non-verbal communication as well, like being struggling to pick up on social cues like different facial expressions and different body language. With visual learners, so whereas neurotypicals would think in words, we think in pictures, which can come with its challenges. So when we're learning something new, we find it hard to learn when someone's just saying it to us and reading about it. We prefer to see pictures, videos, and seeing it being done, seeing it being demonstrated. But it also comes with its positives as well, because we have a eidetic memory, or as is commonly known, a photographic memory. So when we remember things that we've seen or done, we'll even remember the tiny details that a neurotypical person wouldn't necessarily remember. And for pretty much our life in general, we have a high attention to detail. So again, tiny details that a neurotypical person wouldn't even notice, we'll pay attention to. We like to plan things meticulously before doing them, and we like to have a structure and a routine in our lives. And if this routine is broken or changed, this can be quite upsetting and make us feel anxious. And then last thing I want to touch on is something which I only learned about in the last couple of years, something called autistic burnout. And this is basically a feeling of physical and mental fatigue and heightened stress, because people like me with autism, we find it hard to adjust to try and fit into a neurotypical world, and we find that we have to mask our symptoms quite a lot of the time, which takes a lot of effort. And during the day, and especially towards the end of the day, we can feel overwhelmed, stressed out and anxious after putting all that effort in to try and pretend to be normal. As I mentioned, during this series, I'm going to be touching on different areas of autism, different symptoms in each of the videos I'm going to do in the series, and go into more detail on those. But for now, there's a brief introduction to autism to get us started and to start getting you educated on the condition. If you're enjoying the series so far, be sure to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.